Okay, so why is this happening? Why is all this happening? It is a reset. Starting with COVID. Same person. Society is resetting. And I'm gonna draw a picture here. Because the short answer is it's because the people in charge want it to be so. And who is in charge? Depends on perspective, who you ask. Okay, so my perspective, I'm just sharing my perspective anyway. But because the people who are in charge want it to be so. So who's in charge? So starting with what we're taught. So we're taught. I'm gonna really try to get through this kind of quick because it's a lot. But what we're taught essentially is that society. This is the United States, U.S. of good old A. We're taught that society is kind of in this pyramid, social pyramid, where we the people are down here, friends, neighbors, all different industries. We have like a upper, middle, and lower class, but we're all in here together. We're all in the same. We're just in it to win it down here. Everybody holding kumbaya down here. Up here, we got this. This is democracy. Yeah. Up here, we got the government. Elected officials that rotate through. There's an attrition there. These are our neighbors, our friends, kids, whoever. This is people doing jobs that just happen to be working up here at the time being. And, they get paid from the tax dollars earned down here to put forth the will of the people via legislation and, debate and all these, whatever. At the top of this, and there's different levels here. There's, federal, state, local, county, city levels here. And at the top of this is the one and only, the President of the United States of America. And this person gets the executive decision-making authority for everybody downstream of them. So this is how our society is set up, and really, this is how many societies, countries are set up. But the United States is a little special when it comes to this because the U.S. economy and the U.S. dollar are central to the global economy. So the U.S. dollar being the global reserve currency means people have to transact through us and our top dog to conduct their business. So not only is this person in this government on the, in the upper tiers of the United States, but also the upper tiers of the globe. This is what we're taught. Okay, so my perspective is that this is a little bit faulty because I think actually is more like this. more like this, where down here you have your teachers, your lawyers, doctors. You have your law enforcement. You have tradesmen, entertainers. You know, a lot of people put entertainers up. No, they're down here. Entertainers. You got service workers, CEOs, even like business owners, big and small, technically down here, right? If they're not government, they're supposed to be subject to this, you know, system in place over here. Billionaires too. And criminals, inmates. Okay. Everybody. Democrats, Republican. I'd name more, but there's not really more. All thoughts of society. So I think my perspective is the government actually runs parallel to other influential bodies in our society, such as education, media, especially church, military, industrial complex, healthcare. Right, there's these different industries that have influence over all these people down here. So there's the way I see it, there's like a hierarchy within each of these, right? So you have your, I don't know, you got your Pope up here. You got, like, you know, Walt Disney, maybe, I don't know. You got hierarchy. This is like a basically the people making decisions up here ain't the same as the people doing the work down here. This is like this climbing the ladder in like a need to know fashion. Yeah. These, you know, run in parallel because, you know, it's obvious that, well, I'll get to in a second. So I think above these entities are corporations. This is, you know, when you have like Facebook that has, Facebook that's got like what 2 billion users or something, that's significantly more than this populace of the United States right here, right? So who's more influential, this person or this, you know, Mark Zuckerberg or the president of the United States? This person who's been holding, you know, sitting at the top since what, early, you know, 2 decades, or this person who's been sitting there for like 2-3 years so far? You know, the timeline extends as you go up here. So Facebook, you have your Amazon, your Walmart, your, let's see, Monsanto, all these big, well-known companies, Google, the Goog, you have Pfizer, put Disney up there, You have General Electric, just, I'm going to call this resource management. Resource management. These ones have the things that everybody down here needs and wants. These are the users of these products. This hierarchy, and these really extend down, right? Because there's like employees in these, but these hierarchies act as, this is just my perspective, facilitators of whatever these entities have going on. If Facebook's got the data, Amazon's got the warehouses, Monsanto's got the food supply, it just, these act as gatekeepers. Like, if you want something, you got to cut a deal some way, shape, or form. I'll just point out that this becomes clear when you follow the money, because use our governing body as an example. So we, the people, elect somebody into, say, Congress. And I think it's, we can donate to their campaigns, okay, but we pay them with our tax dollars. That's their salary. That's where their salary comes from. The president, too. It's government funds. Government funds, P.S., are our money divvied out to these people. But anyway, so we, because we pay their salaries, we're their boss, right? They work for us. Public servants, they work for us. But when you start looking at it, we hear about lobbyists and whatnot. These companies up here are responsible for huge amounts of the campaign funds that get these people into office. And the question that begs to be asked is what, because money is an exchange, it's a mechanism of exchange, right? So if the money is a barrier to entry with politics for the most part in this country at this point. You can't have $0 and just try to grassroots Bernie Sanders your way into the presidency. We watch that. Hopefully one day I voted for him, but I'm just saying, like, money is power, and it's difficult to compete in this capitalist society when you have tens of millions of dollars going towards certain candidates' campaigns so they can fly around and handle their business, but money is an exchange. So if we are paying politicians via tax dollars, and companies and whole industries are paying politicians via campaign funds and otherwise, these politicians work for us, but they also work for them. So if they're working for these guys, be it we're going to pay you X amount of campaign money, and then we would like for you to put in X, Y, and Z into legislation, make that happen. Whatever it is, there's some exchange happening there. So there's work being done in exchange for the funds. So I consider that a boss, you know? So these are, you know, whoever pays me, I'm an employee of them, or, you know, contracting style, I suppose, but that's why I put these guys up here. And these corporations, they have, you know, relationships with these different facets of society. Right. I could spend so much time on this, but I'll just go to the next one, which is finance. So we have our banking sector, and everything is, you know, tiered. So central banks, you know, Federal Reserve, you got European Central Bank, etc., down to Bank of America and whatnot. These corporations have to transact with each other, and they rely on these banks to do it. Lots of money is just created out of thin air via loans, but a bank's got to do it. So aside from them, you got big old long-standing entities like BlackRock, which that company by itself is a rabbit hole, but I'll just say if this company went under, the whole world would too. BlackRock. You have JP Morgan. That's a more common name, and Goldman Sachs up here with all these other, you know, money movers. All right, above them you have Global Authority, such as the popping out of the banking sector would be the Bank of International Settlements. That's like the central bank of central banks, which, you know, each country has its own central bank, so that one's got a lot of power on like which countries are doing what. Anyway, the World Economic Forum, these guys, right? These guys. The IMF, the WHO is up here. That's a global, these are unelected bodies, PS. These just found their way up there, and they just go, you know what, we're just gonna decide. We're just gonna decide for everybody. That'd be best after all, you know, just anyway. These global authorities. So when COVID kicked off and all these different countries were marching in lockstep, it's because there's these global authorities saying, you know, giving recommendations like mandates, but that's besides the point. But they're you know, they're creating these narratives, these policies, these networks, these infrastructures for information, this gatekeeping, this decision making. It's top down. This is, we're here. United States President is here. The Federal Reserve is up here. People think this is part of the United States government. It's not. This Federal Reserve, even when you go to their website, they're like I think it calls them a public-private partnership of some sort. It's like, it's not, they don't have to answer to us I'll just put it like that. Above these, so this table's getting smaller as it goes up, and it, the top. And when you're trying to follow the money, this right here is about where the internet cuts you off. You can find all kinds of public information up to this point, but who's beyond this, it just gets real short and sweet, and just politely, that's not really your business. This is need to know. This don't concern you guys down here. This is old money. This is old money. This is like old British royalty, old Spanish royalty, old Saudi money. This is people and families and entities that have been operating for, I'm talking centuries. Timeline, the attrition, whatever you'd want to call it, gets shorter as you go down the line. This person's 4 to 8 years in. People running corporations run longer. Central banks, it's even longer. WEF, Klaus Schwab has been sitting there since 1971. This is life's work, right? We're talking centuries when you get up here. It's old money. What's above that is, we don't get to know that. That's conspiracy land. So why is this happening? Why is all this happening? It's because the entities that are making decisions, that are actually making the decisions, want it to be so. This book was written in 2016. This stuff has been a long time coming, but I'll just point out real quick. So this is happening because stuff's changing, because power doesn't give up power willingly, and they're going to preserve it. And we've been running on 0 or negative interest rates for X period of time. Too much money is down here, and it's got to work its way back up there, because that's how the system is designed. The Fed and any of these entities up here, they're not going to go bust. They have a decision to make when it comes to an inflection point of, are we going to, make our books even, or are we just going to let them have it and they're going to make their books even? That's why this is happening.